Do we have any candidates in the House tonight? Mr. Cooper? Mr. Cooper, why don't you come on up and take a few minutes, if you would, and talk about your campaign. Mr. Cooper is running for the 4th Congressional District. Come on up, Mr. Cooper. Thank you, Erwin. Can you all hear me okay? Yeah, it sounds really good. I don't have to talk as loud. Anyway, do you want a better world? You want a better nation? You want inhabitants better with better statesmen? You want a better courts, better systems, better citizens, better neighbors. You want to have better churches, populated by better families. We're going to start with ourselves to do that. We started that on the square this last week ago Wednesday. Ladies and gentlemen, we fired a shot, we drew a line in the ground, and we said we're not going to stand for what's going on in the government. We're going to see some changes. So we begin a journey that's going to take us, we're going to take back the White House. It'll take a while to do it, I know that, but we're going to do it because that's the right thing to do. The way you do it is how? Through the vote. That's how we get into the Congress, that's what happens up there. We said this Tea Party, what it was all about is the higher taxes that's going to come down to us. Our children, our grandchildren are going to have to foot the bill. And we said, no, we don't want that. So what we've come down to, we've got taxation without adequate representation. Did y'all know that? I think you know that. We continue the journey today as our campaign picks up, as the voters begin to take a stand. We're going to see some things happen in the government. We're going to begin to reform the government to serve the people. Now, I'm sorry, someplace along the road we got to change, where that somehow or another it seems the government thinks that we work for them. But that's not the way the Constitution was written. The Constitution was written where that they're to serve the people. So somewhere we've gotten off track on all this thing. We need to see some changes take place. So we begin to protest. We don't want our children to have to pay all of our bills. So what's going to take? We have to have less government. Less government, more individual rights, more states' rights. An interesting thing, and I've shared this several times, and some of you here I know haven't heard it, but in 1942, the United Supreme Court made a decision. The ruling was Wickard and Filburn. The ruling said that any time the United States government puts money into anything, that's just a paraphrase of anything, then they control it. Now, you notice today that the president has called on some of the bankers and was calling them together. They've taken money, so they're going to have to be responsible for it. I like to say I kind of liked our governor's position on that. We're not going to take the money because we don't want to be obligated to you. So I have to like that. You know, I made a statement wrong a week ago Wednesday. I said that what it would take to be $1 trillion, and Beth Weisenbecker was speaking. I said, Beth, it'd take $1,000 a month, but I was wrong. It's $1,000 a day for 2.74 million years before you can spend $1 trillion. That's a lot of money. You know, as we look at all these things, we're going to find that there's so many things going on in Congress that's not right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to try to buy your vote. We're going to try to earn your vote. I tell you what, too many people trying to buy stuff already. We want to restore honesty, integrity back into the Congress. We want Congress to earn our respect and our trust by not trying to buy us. We're looking around trying to find the rating of the Congress right now. The last I heard some time ago was under 20%. I can't find it right now, so I'm thinking their rating is so low they don't even begin to publish it anymore. So we definitely need some changes going on there. Interesting thought the other day, credit card companies were raising their rates. Maybe this is going to stop, I'm not sure. But it seems like they're raising the rates, and my thought was, why are they doing it? Because they can. You know, there were some other things come down the pike, and I heard the other day that Alaska was going to have, that the government had given them some money to do a study on the squirrels and the millions of squirrels. The other study came down was that they were going to do a study on why pigs smell. I didn't know it was a funny statement, but then I said on Wednesday, it sounds like a lot of pork to me. I really didn't think it was funny until I got back looking back at it. You know, we need to drill for oil. We need to be independent. We need to be efficient. We can still drill. We can still, with the oil supplies we have, we can be energy efficient until we reach a point where we can find alternate sources of energy. We can repeal the latest, and that's what I'd like to do, is repeal the latest energy control regarding ethanol. We've got the erosion of the American dream is taking its toll right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't like it, and I don't think you do either. Now, Dr. Anderson was preaching down at First Baptist Church not too long ago, and he mentioned some things that are involved when a country starts falling apart, when a country starts losing its values. One of the back things is moral fiber, you know that. But he named famine and diseases. These are all the things. But some of the things really caught my attention. He said the unmanageable wars. We've had some unmanageable wars. He also talked about corrupt politics. We've had that too. He talked about also the economic crisis that comes from these things. And we've got that too. So what I see Congress is depending and counting that the American people will not stand up, that they're too preoccupied, they're too passive. They're not going to stand up and do anything. They're not going to fight for their rights, and so they can continue to roll over us the way they're doing right now, pass legislation, do the things we want to. But ladies and gentlemen, when we come down to fear, listen, you know, we can overcome fear by action. We can overcome fear from boredom, and so many times that's what happens when we become passive, if we get boredom. And so we can take a stand, and I think this is God's way to warn us. We need to be careful. You know, we have the right to assemble, we have the right to protest, we have the right to petition, we have the right to vote. And I say we should do all of those. I say prove the Congress wrong. Stand up. Let's get something going. Let's get to the White House. Ladies and gentlemen, I say to you tonight that send me to the White House. Let me be your voice. I have a website. It's called JohnCooperUSCongress.com. It'll be up pretty soon. Chad's fixed it up for us. And so that'll be for too long. I'm going to Washington. When I go, I'm going with the faith in our American system. I believe it works. I believe our Constitution was designed for such a time as this, when there was so much gap between the government and between the American people. And so today, I want to carry the faith. I know it's going to work. On one hand, and the other hand, I'm going to carry your vote to Congress, and we're going to make our voice heard up there. I pledge one thing. There's so many things going on. There's so many problems. I understand that they're not going to be resolved. To tell you I could solve them all, you know that's wrong. I could tell you I could spread the wealth around the world and it's going to solve the problems, but you saw it didn't. It's not working. But I pledge to be a true representative to the people. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying send me to Congress. Let me go and fight for you, and I'll carry your vote. Thank you, everyone.